what he discovered when he discovered the objective psyche and started exploring it was that it is the source of religion, of philosophy, of art, of mythology, of worldviews of all kinds. It's the source of those. Therefore, although we say quite accurately, no, Jungian psychology is not a religion, it's not a philosophy, it's not a Weltanschauung. Nonetheless, it deals with the source of all of those, and it has also discovered in the course of realizing the practical aspect of encounter with the psyche, which is psychotherapy. It's discovered that psychotherapy, if it's going to be complete in the individual case, involves the individual's discovery of a religious standpoint and of a Weltanschauung. So that Jungian psychology, when it's applied, does lead to religious consciousness and to the emerging awareness of a new worldview, even though Jungian psychology itself is not a religion or a worldview. It's as though it's more fundamental than that. Just because Jung talks about religious imagery and religious phenomenology, many people superficially think he's a religionist, or as you said earlier, he's a mystic. That's not true. He's an empirical scientist of the psyche. That's what he is.
Ed, you have spoken of Jung as an epochal man, and you have explained that you mean by that a man whose life inaugurates a new age in cultural history. Can you tell us more of this idea? Have there been other epochal men?
See, I have a perception of Jung that I'm afraid practically nobody shares. I'm almost alone in that. Speaking of being alone, I mentioned earlier, he's a whole new species. But we know from history that when an individual of carrying major new consciousness arrives on the scene, that often inaugurates a new epoch. The two examples that I'm thinking of particularly are the examples of Christ and Buddha. I believe that Jung belongs to that order of individual, you see. That when a major new level of consciousness emerges, then it has to have some huge collective effect that it may take several hundred years to bring into visibility, but that will eventually be seen for what it is, and that's how I see Jung. There's a remark that Jung makes on this subject that I want to refer to. It comes from page 311 of volume 2 of his letters. I want to refer to it because I believe it summarizes in a nutshell the basic idea behind continuing incarnation. Here's what he says. He says, Buddha's insight and the incarnation in Christ break the chain of suffering through the intervention of the enlightened human consciousness which thereby acquires a metaphysical and cosmic significance.